Okay, this is going to be a video of the SOL warm-up test 2. Okay, so we're going to start with some of the calculator-based questions. So these are all things you can be able to do with a calculator. What are the real roots? Anytime they ask for roots or solutions or x-intercepts or zeros, okay, you just type it in. You don't even have to type in the equals 0. You click to where it's crossing the x-axis, which is 2 and 5. Okay, so that would be answer A. Okay, same way of asking the same question. What is the 0? Okay, I don't need to type in the h of x. I just got to type in the x squared plus 3x minus 18. Okay, click where it crosses. Click where it crosses the x-axis. Crosses at -6 and 3. So that would be also letter A. Okay. Question 3, what are the solutions? So I want to type in solutions. Anytime they ask for solutions, 5x, what do we got, plus 3? Make sure you split your screen. Okay, we got to zoom in. Okay, it crosses at -1 and -1.5. Okay. All right, once again, if you ever have a question of what that fraction is as a decimal, just divide it. As you can see, that's -1.5. So the answer is C. Okay, inequalities. Okay, so what you want to understand about inequalities, okay, is if you get one of these lines, it's x is less than or greater than. If you get a solid line, it's going to be x is greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. The other thing you have to understand is the shading, okay? If it's shaded on this side, it's x is greater than, okay? If it's shaded on this side, it's x is less than. So you got to have an idea. Now we type this in just like we did the solutions. We want to type this in, okay? All right, just as we see it. Okay, I have to zoom out a little bit. Okay, and that's where I got 10. So I got 10. The shading is to the right. So this would be x is greater than or equal to 10. Okay, same thing here. Got to type this inequality in. All right, so I got 6x minus 11 minus 13x less than 7 minus 5x. Okay, click that dot. That's also going to the right, so this would be x is greater than -9. Now, why I didn't put the little line underneath of it? It's got a dashed line there. Okay, question number 6. You got to pick out the appropriate thing. Okay, once again, just have attention to detail of what you're typing in. X plus 4, -x plus 4 minus 2, 2x plus 6. Okay, all right, so that is -4 being shaded to the left. Okay, so obviously this would be this one. That is an open circle. Okay. Question 7. This is a system of equations. All I'm looking for is where does that cross the x-axis. So I just type both in. Click that, that's 1, 5. That answer is C. Okay, question 8, same deal. Want to type this in? (4y equals -1). Okay. Now you got to read. It says, what is the x value? X value, remember, this is x, this is y. It's like the alphabet. So that's going to be -3 there. Okay? Now, question 9. When you have the double, what you're looking for is what is the darkest area. Okay? All right, there's only going to be one. Okay, you're going to see coloring on multiple ones. But that's all you want to do, okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to type these in. Whoops, let me click over here. X, make sure that X is to the side there, plus 1. Okay, that's one of that. Y plus 3X less than or equal to 6, okay? As you can see, the darkest area is going to be here. So what I want to do is I want to put these points in like I see them, okay? And see if that's in the darkest area, okay? That point, it is not, okay? So then 1, 2. Okay, that point is. So I would pick that one, okay? All right, then 2, 0, okay? All right, that's not on the darkest area, so I'm not picking that. And then 4, 6. Okay, that's not in the darkest area, so that one's the only one you end up picking. All right? Question 10, which one is the darkest shade? This is you got to pick out the area here. So what I want to do is I want to type this in. Okay, so my darkest area is that bottom one. So that's going to be that's going to be part 3 only. All right, going on to question 11. Okay, what is the quotient of this? So when we have these, this is like an equivalent deal. So what I want to do, quotient means division. So what I want to do is I want to type this in, and I want to make sure, okay, I want to match up my graph. As you can see, I got a purple line there. Okay, all right. Now, if I type in like letter D, okay, everybody see how that changed color? C, there's 2 different lines. So C is not going to be my answer, but D would be. Okay, so you want to pick the one that if it's a purple line, when I type this in, it changes it to a different color. So that's why that answer is D. Going to question 12. Okay, all right. Also, make sure as you type things that you have accuracy with your intercepts. Click over here, X plus 2. Okay, all right. That crosses a 2 and 6, and it's shaded there, which is letter A. Okay, so just have some accuracy with that. Okay. Which one best represents this? I think I'm going to have to go to the next page to see it. But let's go y equals -4 divided by 3. Click over here for x plus 2. Okay. All right, so what I want to do is make sure that that's crossing at 2 and 1.5. Okay, so that's 2 right there, 1.5. So that would be letter C. Okay, which one is the y-intercept? Once again, if you want to, you can graph this one. 4x plus 8y equals 12. Okay, my y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, 1.5. So Mr. Evans, I don't know which one that is. Well, if you divide that fraction, right, that's 1.5, so that's B. Okay, going on to 15. Okay, this is an equivalent. What I want to do is put these in. Now, the key thing with the squared is make sure the squared is on the outside. Okay, so I put -2. How I get to cube root is I go functions, I scroll all the way down. Then I type a 3, then I use this arrow to get inside of there, and I put the 64. And then I click the arrow to get out, plus parentheses -5 squared. That's 17, and that's what you should put in there. Okay, question 16. Okay. All right. So what I want to do, I'm going to put parentheses where that letter is, which is -3. All right, where B is, then the square root is here, okay? All All right, 25. Click this arrow to get outside of there, plus functions, scroll all the way down, 3, click inside of there, okay, and I put 125. So that answer is negative 10. Okay, going on to 17. Okay, all right, now, let's talk about earn, okay, earn, save, make. Okay, that's going to be your x plus y greater than or equal to your money. If you have spend, that's x plus y being less than or equal to your money. Okay, so it says hours worked in a day. Okay, that's going to be x. Okay, because that's what it says here. That's x, that's y. Okay, so what I got is 12.50x plus 7.50y. Since I want to earn or make, I'm going to do greater than or equal to 300. Okay, and that crosses at 40 and 24, and it's shaded out that way, which that's going to end up being letter D here. Okay, letter D. Okay. All right. I don't know why number 18 didn't show up on there. Okay. All right. See if I can get 18 real quick. Okay, it's graph 2 points with integral coefficients, so that's 3x squared minus 2. Okay, now what you want to do with that, okay, all right, I can type 3x squared minus 2, okay, then I hit the gear and I hit this little table thing, and all I ever want to graph is stuff that doesn't have decimals. So in this case, I got some good stuff. I got -1, 1. I got 0, -2, and I've got 1, 1. And then I just connect the dots through here. All right, that's how you do 18. I think 19, I'm in, okay. All right, graph with integral coefficients, okay? So what I want to do, okay, I got y divided by 2, click over here, x squared minus 4, all right? Click that gear, get my table. Now, I don't want to graph the decimals. So I want to graph -2, -2. Okay, all right. 0, -4. Okay, so as a reminder, this first coordinate is left and right. Then the next coordinate is up or down. Okay, -2, -2. 0, -4. 2, -2. And connect the dots. Okay, should look like the picture that's on there. Okay, question 20. Okay, now we're going to move into the line and curve of best fit. Okay, these equations are all on your stuff here. y1, ax1 plus b, that's the line. y1, ax1 squared plus bx1 plus c, that's the quad. Okay, then y1 curvy thing, a times b, x1 is the exponential. Okay, so you got to have an idea of what you're doing there. Okay, all right, so what I want to do is I'm going to hit the plus and I'm going to make a table this time. -4, -4.8, -3, -8.2, -2, -9.1, -1, -8.1, 0, -4.7. Okay, and then 1, and then 0.3. I do y1 curvy thing, ax1 plus b. Okay, now my r squared, I'm looking for something that gets close to 1. So that is not what I'm looking for. So let's delete some of this and go ax1 squared, okay, plus bx1 plus c. Okay, that r squared is really, really close. Also, look how it goes through all my points here. Okay, all right. So what I want to do is I want to pick out the numbers here. Now be careful, that's -4. So this is probably your best equation. Okay. All right, so we're going 21. All right. So it even tells me this is a quadratic model. Okay, so that helps me there. Okay, so table. All right, 0, 200, 0.5, 195, 1.0, 185, 1.5, 165, 2.0, 135, 2.5, 100. Okay, now since it tells me a quadratic, I can just do that. y1 curvy thing, ax1 squared plus bx1 plus c. Okay, all right. Now it says based on the model, what will the height be at 3 seconds? All right. Well, 3 seconds is x equals 3 because it would be in this column. Okay. So underneath of that, I put x equals 3, and then I find where it intersects. That's 55. And so that's my answer. Okay. Question 22. Okay. All right. Using the line of best fit. So it's telling me line. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start this over. Plus table. 6, 10, 12, 15, 20, 27. Don't type the commas. So notice I did not put the comma. If you put the comma in there, it won't be right. 23,900. 31,500. Okay, 43,200. 59,900. Okay, so line of best fit. Okay, y1 curvy thing, ax1 plus b. Okay, r squared pretty close to 1 there. All right. So when using the line of best fit, which value prediction of the distance driven? 40 months. Okay, well, we're 40 months. 40 months would be in this thing, and that's the x column. So what I want to do, so I want to go x equals 40. Okay, and I want to zoom out a bunch, and then eventually I'll get to some dots here. I'm going to start clicking around until I eventually get the dot. It usually is a gray dot, which is 91,000. Okay, 426. So I think that is on. I don't know why that got cut off. Okay, so it's going to be the one that's, I think it's 91,000. Okay, whatever that one is, okay, is the one you want to use, all right? All right, so let's go to question 23. Okay, which of these tables is an exponential? Okay, so what I want to do, okay, all right, I'm going to start by making my initial table. Okay, exponential is y1, okay, curvy thing, a times b. Now I need to make an exponent, so I have to hit that little button right here, x1, okay, all right, and so I'm looking for an r squared value of 1, so that's one of them, okay. This is a multiple choice question, So all I got to do is just change out these numbers. So 100, 400, 900, 1600. And as you can see, that r squared is not 1, okay, or getting close to 1. Then I'll go 2000. Then I got 1500. Then I got 1000. And then I got 500. Okay, once again, r squared value is not 1. Okay, and then I go to this last one. 5,000, 2,500, 1,250, and then 625. You can see the r squared value of 1, so the answer would be 1 and 4. Okay, so what I want to do here, since it's a cube root group of 3, okay, all right, so 3, 4, 5, 6 divided by 2, all right, that's 2 and 17, or 28, 2 and 6, 8, 64, that's 232. That will end up being 216. That would be 108. That would be 54. That would be 27. Now 27 I cannot divide by 2, but I can divide by 3. So that's going to be 3 and 9, 3 and 3. Okay? Cross off all the double branches. That will help you. I'm circling groups of 3. 3 2s, 3 2s, 3 3s. So I can take 1 per circle group. What did I not circle? What did I not cross off? I didn't cross that off. So 2 times 3 is 12. That's going to be 12 cube root of 2. It's going to be letter C. Okay? All right? 125. Okay, this is a square root. Okay? So 845, I'm just going to refresh this. Okay, 845 divided by 2 doesn't work. Divided by 3 doesn't work. Divided by 5 does. 5 and 169. Okay, all right, 169 divided by 5 doesn't work. Next one would be 7. Okay, next one would be 13. And both of those are prime. So 1, what I not circle, what I cross off is that one. That would be my answer. 26, it's a cube root. So 2 and 24, 2 and 12, 2 and 6, 2 and 3. Okay, I can pick out 1 per circle group. I did not cross that off, so that's 2 times 3, which is 6. So 2 cube root of 6, which is A. Okay, question 27. We're going to get into factoring now. Okay, the big thing with factoring, functions, scroll down, GCD. Okay, make sure you do that. So we've got 4, -2, -2. So I got a 2 there. So I want to divide everything by 2 and check that 2 off. So that would be 2x squared minus 1x minus 1. Okay, and then I forget like that ever took place. Okay, 2 times -1 is -2. What are the factors of -2? 1 and 2 and 2 and 1. How many sides are negative? Because that's negative, that's what I want. Okay? I am looking for the set that adds up to this one, which would be this. Okay? So I got 2x squared minus 2x plus 1x with that -1. First and last are always there. Okay? Now I'm doing GCFs going this way. So the GCF of 2 and 1, that's just going to be x. That's going to be 1 with a negative. GCF here is 2. Now, if you ever need to, you can always type that GCF in. All right, 2 with an x, 1. So my other factors I should pick here are 2x plus 1 and x minus 1. All right, 28 is the next one. All right, now when I do the GCD of this one, I've got 1, -2, -15. That's 1, so I don't have anything. 1 times -15 is -15. Factors of 15 are 1 and 15. 15, you can't divide that by 2, but you can divide it by 3. 3 and 5. Okay, now, since this is negative, I got one side. Now, this adds up to 2, but I needed to add up to -2. So what's the fix there? Just switch those. Those add up to 2. So first term, x squared minus 5x plus 3x minus 15. Okay? All right? GCF out of this row would just be x. Say you didn't know that. You didn't know that one. Well, just type it in. If you're ever confused, just take 5 seconds and type it in. It is 5. Since that's a minus, that's a minus. No number here, just an x. GCF of that would be 3. Okay? So here would be my factors. Okay? So which one am I going to pick? I'm going to pick letter G. Okay? You're just trying to find the one that works. Okay? Let's go to 29. Okay? Same concept. All right, I got 1, comma, -7, comma, 10. Okay, it's going to be 1. 1 times 10 would be 10. The factors of 10 are 1 and 10, and they are 2 and 5. Now, since we have negatives, but that's positive, both sides are negative. And that set adds up to -7. So I got x squared minus 2x minus 5x. Last term is 10. GCF out of this row is an x. If you didn't know what the GCF of 2 and 10 is, just type it in. There's a 2, and that's a minus. That's just going to be an x. If you did not know what it was for 5, okay, that's going to be a 5 with a minus. X minus 2, x minus 5. Best selection for that would be F. Okay? Moving on to the last few. All right, now, here's something you have to understand. I'm going to give you a bunch of examples. All right, now, here's the idea. More steep, it's also times. This would be up or more, because it's positive. So this is more steep and times. This is less and down. Now, if the number's like a fraction like this is less steep than times. This would be 6 up or more. This is less steep or times. This would be less or down. So let's look what I have here. I got that number, okay? All right, so that's going to be steeper. The graph steepness, just make sure you're clicking the right thing. The graph is shifted. This is going to be up or more. So that would be that one. Just make sure you understand how that works there. Okay, so we're going to 31. Okay, now what you have to do is sometimes you're going to have to find the equation. Okay, so remember, y equals mx plus b. That's the y-intercept. Okay, that's -3. Okay, all right. Now this is the slope. Here's how I find that. 1, 2, 3 over 1. So 3 over 1 is 3. All right, so this is going to be steeper or times for the slope. This is going to be down or less. Okay, so the slope is 3 times. The y-intercept is 3 less. Okay, so you have to understand the vocabulary. All right, so this one. This is going to be steeper or times. This is going to be less or down. So the graph is steeper and it's shifted down. Okay, you got to check both of those. All right, so that is warm-up test 2. Hopefully you're getting better from each one.